And so I'm suffering through the day, but I'm not even thinking that. I'm just like, I was determined to figure it out because I had this picture in my head of how the shoulders are supposed to move,
Mm-hmm.
and what how much better the exercise would be, if our body was able to move the way it was supposed to,
Mm-hmm.
instead of getting pinned against the bench, which is what happens, and which is why there's so many injuries. So you're lifting weight, you're putting it in your hand, you're putting stress on your joints, and that translates all the way down through into the shoulder, and
Mm-hmm.
then the shoulder's taking the brunt of it because it's not moving.
Definitely.
So that's a problem, and most people are unaware of that. And so, regardless of the fact, I wanted to make a change and see what I could do to create a piece of equipment that would not only let the shoulders function the way they're supposed to, but also the other element, as being a trainer, I'm sure you can relate, is teaching people and instructing them proper form and technique.
Mm-hmm.
Getting them to actually feel what they're supposed to feel is so key, and that's why we use all these cues and things like that, because tell someone to go down, sit on a bench and bench, they're not going to do it right.
Definitely.
So I kind of took the biomechanics aspect and the teaching aspect, and I wanted to merge it into a tool that would not only position somebody properly, but allow their body to function the way it's supposed to. And regardless of the fact that they have any knowledge of it or not, they're going to be able to perform that exercise correctly because it forces them to.
Mm-hmm.
So the minute you lay down, instead of wiggling around and fighting the bench to get into position and doing all this crazy acrobatic shit,
Mm-hmm.
you're already in position because the equipment is designed to put you in position.
Mm-hmm.
And so then what that does is obviously inspires confidence, because if somebody can execute correctly, it's going to build their confidence in what they're doing, and that a lot of times has a major impact on consistency in the gym. And if you feel confident in what you're doing, naturally you're going to want to continue to do it, because then you'll start to take pride in what you're doing, so on and so forth. So
Sure.
I tried to piece all that together into again one piece of equipment that could ultimately at least deliver correct form on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
and and I was kind of looking back on my years as a trainer, and it was so frustrating, because it's like, dude, it's so simple, man, just do this. But you tell them to do what, and they do complete opposite. So
Sure.
um and then I kind of stumbled across the fact that it can be a bench is obviously used for more than one thing. You're laying on your back to execute any sort of press or fly, or
Mm-hmm.
and you have so many
Leg
different,
press.
exactly. So any bench is used for chest supported exercises for back as well. So you got, and when you're thinking equipment, pretty much every piece of equipment, unless it's a free motion or just a cable,
Mm-hmm.
has some sort of bench involved.
Usually, yeah.
And so you look at how off the ergonomics of the equipment is, that poses a serious problem. And then it kind of, as I started to do, it almost turned into a research project on my own thing,
Mm-hmm.
because it made me discover the fact that there's a posture problem and a setup problem that kind of plagues the industry. It's never really been paid attention to. You got Prime and other equipment producers producing this awesome equipment that has all these mechanical functions. You can manipulate the strength curve,
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of things.
Yeah,
All
Prime's
sorts of,
awesome.
oh, I love their equipment.
Yeah, they got good stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
So this creation is the Launchpad. That
Yes,
is your
yes.
creation.
So
yeah.
what it's designed to do is instantly transform a bench into a correctly ergonomic piece of equipment that
Mm-hmm.
puts you in prime position to execute with correct form,
Mm-hmm.
efficiency, and it's supposed to improve the safety. So when your shoulder's moving the way it's supposed to move, you're not going to have the shearing and the impingement.
Mm-hmm.
Impingement leads to it's the first of your problems. If you're starting to get impingement, you're probably already fucked.
Yeah.
To be honest. And so what that also uncovered is the biggest thing with the shoulder. As soon as you interrupt that movement, the natural rhythm that occurs, the scapulohumeral or glenohumeral rhythm, whatever
Mm-hmm.
you want to call it,
Yeah.
it's interchangeably used. That's automatically leading to problems, because then the rotator cuff muscles are working harder,
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting, as soon as they get stressed, they actually
Put at risk to tear
exactly,
and all that kind of
and
stuff.
the integrity of the joint is breaking down, and it just leads to a whole host of problems. So if all it takes is a simple alteration to the surface that we lay on, why has no one done it?
Why the firm surface?
So there's a good reason for that. Actually, I was talking to Brandon about this last night. Actually, somebody commented, "Is that just a hard foam pad?" Like, first of all, it's not foam.
No.
It's
What is it?
It's polyurethane. So
Got it.
It's the equivalent of truck tire rubber, basically. It's about that hard.
Yeah.
Major heavy equipment rubber, and and when I worked with my engineer to actually come up with the appropriate material for it, we knew that it had to maintain its shape, otherwise it would have no effect. It would just be like another bench. So
Sure.
it has to be hard because that shape allows your shoulder to move.
Yeah.
Without that, if it collapses, then you're just sandwiching your shoulder again.
You're just kind of mushing two pads
Right,
on the
it'd
top
just
of
be
the
a
bench
complete
in order
waste of
for it
money.
to. Yeah, it provides an exoskeleton
Right.
for a proper
So-
bench press form.